Calgary Flames are fighting for their playoff lives, and while the team is clicking in certain ways, we can all agree that offensively doesn't fall into that category. But according to NHL Insider Elliotte Friedman, help is on the way with the Flames' number one prospect knocked out of the OHL playoffs and likely headed to the show. With the future here, are the Flames destined for glory? Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but this is the most exciting update, I think, of the entire season. We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And let's talk about last night's game, because it has its positives and it has its negatives. It was an interesting one, but the Flames did end up actually losing this game in overtime to the top of the Pacific Vegas Golden Knights, a 3-2 loss in this one. Now, a lot of people will say that the Flames deserved to win this game. A lot of people will say we were lucky to get the point because Vegas really did outplay us, but there were certain moments in this game that obviously could have gone more the Flames' ways. I mean, once again, feel free to let me know down below. Was this in or was it not? It kind of just died, apparently still touching the line. Now, a lot of people will say, hey, maybe this was goalie interference. Anyway, in case you missed it, I believe it was Blake Coleman, kind of shot it. It looked like it was going to go in, looked like it was a goal. And then, of course, since it's the Calgary Flames, it, of course, was called no goal. But again, can you see some white or is it touching the line? I'm not too sure. It seems like there's been a lot of these kind of instances that haven't gone our way, not only, over the past however many decades or years, but even just this season and even just this week, it seems like this just keeps happening. Flames goals getting either taken away or just that close to being actual goals. Pretty insane. But again, let me know, was this in? Should it have been a goal or not? If we get into the box score here, Dustin Wolf, I'm going to have a lot to say about him in the next chapter of this video, but he had a really good game, honestly. He gave up 3 goals on 34 shots. The 9-12 save percentage is pretty good there, and you do got to kind of feel for him because, some of the goals were kind of unlucky, or it was bad by the defenseman on the play, or bad defensive changes like on the first goal. A pretty good performance overall from him, and he had some great things to say after this game and why he was so emotional, which I will get into. But if you get into the skaters who got on the score sheet here, Joel Hanley, Nacho, got a goal late in the second. An absolute snipe for him. Wonderful to see him get on the score sheet. I believe that's only his second of the season, but great to see him get a goal. Matty Coronato, he obviously gets a goal as well. Just such a good goal scorer. He's going to be such an amazing star for hopefully the Flames for the future. Blake Coleman, Pickles, Kadri, and of course Backlund all getting assists as well. The vets getting an apple each essentially in this one. I feel like there hasn't been much Huberdeau scoring lately, which is too bad. Maybe him not being with Kadri anymore has obviously hurt his game a little bit. Kadri, I mean, easily just drives this offense, and he has been really, really good. But again, unfortunate that the Flames do lose this one. They do get the point, though. So if we take a look at the standings, they are 4 points back of Minnesota, but only have the 1 game in hand now. So things are looking, tougher and tougher for the Flames. They obviously do have that game against Minnesota next week, which will be huge. They still have, San Jose and Anaheim to play. I know Minnesota's schedule is also decently easy, but they still play Dallas. They still play Vancouver, who's obviously still in the race there. I mean, hats off to St. Louis. They, again, just seem like they're never going to lose. They, I believe, have their franchise record 12 wins in a row. So, hey, congrats to them. If you look up in the Pacific, obviously Vegas winning helps them a lot. LA gets a big win against Edmonton as well. Looks like they will probably face each other in LA right now in the driver's seat for that home ice advantage. But the Flames, it's too bad that we only got 1 point, but at least we did get a point and kind of kept us in the race a little bit. So if you take a look at the money puck odds here, the Flames still a 14% chance to make it. So it's gone down a little bit. Minnesota does play today, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. They're currently at an 83.6% chance to make it. So again, they really do control their destiny, but you never know. Without Kaprizov, without, them firing at full cylinders, maybe they will fall off a little bit. And hey, at least the Flames have a bigger chunk than some of the other teams on here. I don't know why Utah's still on there. Vancouver obviously still on there at a very small percentage. Go to the East. Hey, the Flames have a higher chance than teams like, the Islanders, the Red Wings, the Blue Jackets. So, hey, at least we're not in the worst scenario ever. But there's a chance that we could make the playoffs. But the man I wanted to focus on the most from last night's game before we get into the big piece of this video is just that Wolf is the man. Not only has he had, a great rookie season, just a great hockey career so far, but he really gave the Flames a good chance to win this game. So if we take a look at the shots on goal last night, Vegas had 34 and the Flames had 23. Vegas outshot the Flames in all 4 stanzas of this game if you include overtime, and Wolf really did play well. The power play for the Flames was terrible last night, 0 for 4. The Flames really couldn't get much offense going. They were lucky to score the 2 goals. It's kind of funny, when we went down 2-0, I really wasn't sweating it just with how the Flames have been coming back lately. But to be outshot that bad, and the power play to be that bad, obviously you need your goalie to be good, and he was good. But he was so emotional in this one. You could tell both highs and lows. He really wanted to get the win, of course, and was very upset when the puck did enter his net. And, just if you can base it off Sportsnet's article here by Eric Francis. So he said Dustin Wolf had no reason to hang his head, but given the enormity of the situation, it was understandable to see him sit there in his crease dealing with the emotion of the cruelest of overtime losses. And the OT goal itself was, from a terrible angle, it banked off of Weegar, it banked off of Wolf. It just overall wasn't great. But Wolfie had some great quotes after this game. And I know all Flames fans already love this guy, but you're going to love this guy even more. You're going to want to run through a brick wall for this guy after seeing these quotes here. So the first one, he says, "It sucks. I feel like we haven't gotten any bounces to go our way in numerous amount of games. I mean, how many times has the puck just sat on the line and just not crossed? But we got a point, and we got a good stretch here where I think we can make some ground." He is ready to win and do what it takes to get into the playoffs, and just really shows that he can be not only a leader, but hopefully just this franchise's pillar in between the pipes for many, many years to come. Absolutely love the guy. Next quote here. He said, "We're the underdogs. That's the biggest thing. We came into the year with everybody saying we're going to suck, and look at us now. We're fighting for our lives to sneak in. And you know what? We're gonna get in. This one stings, but we move on to the next one." That just brings the positive vibes. Wolfie is a believer. We need to believe as well. I know we all believe in him. We all believe in Vladar with how well he's been playing. If the offense can get going, oh baby, this team really could be very successful, not only in, the future years, but maybe in the near future as well. And if we can get the offense going, that would mean that, hey, maybe some help is coming. The huge part of this video that will really get people super, super stoked. I mean, Dustin Wolf, probably my favorite current Flame to talk about. Zane Parekh, probably my favorite future Flame to talk about, of course. And we have a great update here. So Zane Parekh's 3rd OHL season is now complete. He had 9 points, 2 goals and 7 assists in 5 postseason games versus Erie. Reports from Elliotte Friedman suggest that he will be on his way to Calgary in no time. So essentially what that means is Saginaw did get eliminated by the Erie Otters yesterday in the OHL playoffs, which means Parekh's season is over. He has no more games that he has to obviously be committed to. So why not come join the Calgary Flames, help out the offense? You could take, someone's spot, preferably, in my opinion, you could just come in and slot in for Jake Bean, and who knows, Parekh could even just run power play 1 right now with how bad the power play has been lately. He can carry the puck, he can shoot the puck, he can pass the puck. Just an excellent offensive defenseman. It'd be great to have him slot in, but it could happen. And Mr. Elliotte Friedman certainly thinks so. So the Saturday headlines of Hockey Night in Canada, he reported that the Flames hope to bring in Zane Parekh if OHL season ends soon. And it did end, obviously, very soon. So we could see Parekh. If he knows that the Flames want Parekh to come in, look, it's probably going to happen, which is one of the most exciting things that could have happened this entire NHL season. Bring him in while there's still meaningful hockey to play is not only valuable experience, but can really help the team. I think this is obviously just super duper exciting. And let's not forget, we could look at Zane Parekh's stats for probably about 5 videos in a row, and each video could be 20 minutes long. But the one I wanted to point out here is these are the top scoring seasons by a defenseman in OHL history. Zane Parekh has 2 of the top 13 seasons. He had 96 points last season, and this season he had 107 points, scoring 33 goals in both of those seasons. The first junior Ontario League, I guess, guy to have it because it wasn't necessarily the OHL back then. But the first one to do that, first defenseman to have back-to-back 30-goal seasons since Bobby Orr. Let's not forget how good he is. Obviously, a lot of people might think, okay, let's not think he's going to be, the absolute savior. Not every prospect is, really going to pan out. It is warranted to be excited about this guy. And if we get to see him in a Flame sweater now, I couldn't think of honestly anything better right now. I'm getting maybe a little too worked up about it right now. But let's hope it does happen. And let's get into the comment of the day to wrap up this video. This was a good little comment here from yesterday's vid from Testy. And Testy said, let Connie cook. Not only is he rebuilding the whole team, but it feels like the Flames' morale is back. And it truly is. If they barely make it this year, watch out for next year. They're going to be so hungry for it with all the new prospects. It's going to be insane. Think of this team with someone like Zane Parekh. It's giving me, 2019 Colorado Avalanche vibes where the Flames were the top seed that year, played Colorado, who was the bottom seed, and this kind of unknown guy in Cale Makar comes in and absolutely tears it up and has been pretty much the best defenseman in the NHL since. Could we see the same thing happen with Parekh? Yes, I have now compared Parekh to Bobby Orr and Cale Makar in the same video, but that is just how darn good he is, and fingers crossed it does pan out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.